Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Up Close on METV. I'm Charles Clapsaddle, Station Manager for Manatee Educational Television. And it's our great pleasure to have with us today three ladies who are going to talk about a very important civic operation that has been in its 89th year and on its 51st show. Please welcome Marcia, Krista, and Susan.
Good to see
and
you.
You ladies are from the civic organization that is really a premier organization, the Service Club of Manatee County.
Correct.
Thank you so much for being here and taking time out of your busy schedule to talk about it. Now, people know about the Service Club, but they don't know about the Service Club. And as I mentioned, you've been around for 89 years.
Yes.
What's the origin of the Service Club, Marcia?
In 1927, a group of young women banded together to make sandwiches and cookies for children at Ballard Elementary, which was the only elementary school in the county at the time. Ballard Elementary, to make sandwiches for the needy children who were not bringing lunches to school. And back then there were no lunches served. So they discreetly delivered them to the school for these children so no other children would know that they did not have lunch. And that's how Service Club started.
And from those very humble beginnings, the Service Club has really grown into be an important part of giving back to this community. And a big part of that is like you hand out grants and throughout the year. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have a grant committee, and there's applications to fill out to apply for a grant. And of course, all of our money goes to needy children in Manatee County to educate, to feed, to whatever the medical needs, whatever they may need.
And one of the things I think that's really important, and Krista or Susan, please feel free to jump in, is that the Service Club, people know about civic organizations like the Kiwanis or the Rotary Club and stuff like that, but the Service Club is one of those things that really doesn't pat itself on the back that much. You're one of those quiet organizations that continues to have this mission of helping others. Would you agree, Krista?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm going into my fourth year, and I didn't really know much about Service Club. To be honest, I didn't know anything about it until I was invited to join, and now I'm just so proud to be a member because of how hard we all work. And it's amazing that a group of women, and this year there's 36 of us, can put on such a fabulous show and raise the amount of money that we've raised it's astonishing. I'm just really proud to be part of Service Club.
And Susan, having worked with the Service Club and done some public service announcements with you over the years, one of the most important things the Service Club does as a fundraiser each year is your antique show. And it's like I want to get the terminology right, it's the antique collectible, Marcia, help me on this.
Vintage and collectible show.
And it's a wonderful thing. And tell us a little bit about the details. This is your 51st show coming up?
51st show, and last year we celebrated our 50th show, which was a big celebration for all of the community. And as usual, they continue to support us and come to us with sponsorships, corporate sponsorships, and through our silent auction and advertising and our program booklet, and the support just continues to follow us. So we are very, very privileged, and it's an honor to have the antique show.
Now, having attended, with METV and documented some of the program, it's a fascinating show. The Civic Center is filled with some of the most wonderful things that you'll see. But for those people who haven't had an opportunity to attend, Marcia and Krista and Susan, tell us a little bit about the scope of the show and what it includes.
Well, Friday night on February 26th is our opening gala, and that is from 5:30 till 9, and it is catered by Pier 22 this year, which we're very excited about.
Excellent.
We have a wonderful menu, and we know it will be great. In the years past, we made our own food until 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, I think it was, when we were no longer allowed to do that by someone we don't know who. So we had to give up on making our own food, which was a big draw for people.
Sure.
So now we do have it catered, and this year it'll be Pier 22.
And the Civic Center, the Convention Center, is a wonderful place to hold it because it's so open.
Right.
And and in the past, it's a wonderful festive event that's there, but the number of vendors and antique collectible things that are there is just staggering.
There's 54.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It fills up the entire Civic Center almost.
Yes, half of it, half of the auditorium part. Yes.
Which is everything from dolls to furniture to artwork. It's really wonderful.
Military, we have a little bit of everything. A lot of dealers from all over the country.
Now that's on the Friday. You open
The
with
dealers will be open Friday night when we are open. Yes.
and then it goes through the weekend.
Correct.
And it's open to the public, and tickets are available through your website. Is that correct?
Right.
And what is the website, Krista? Do you remember it right offhand?
Oh, of course. ManateeServiceClub.com.
And people can go online
Yes.
and they can just order the tickets, and they can also get tickets for the event, for the gala as well. Is that correct?
Well, there will be a phone number they can call to get a
Perfect.
ticket. Right, and we deliver the tickets. So if they just call that number, they'll receive tickets.
And it's a wonderful thing, being great community leaders. You get a real sense of community when you're there.
Right.
And it's all going, and here's the key thing about this, all the proceeds go towards the organizations that you help throughout the course of the years.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That is correct. No one gets paid. We're all volunteers.
I think it's
all
really,
of our money goes to the children.
It's really remarkable. Do you remember offhand how many grants you gave last year to different organizations?
Yes, last year we gave $111,200 to 28 children's charities
That's
in
remarkable.
Manatee County.
That's got to make you feel so proud to be able to give back to the community and to these different organizations that if it wasn't for organizations like the Service Club, might have to cut back on services or programs to help children.
Right, right.
Absolutely.
That's very
So
good.
we try to fill the gaps wherever we can.
It does, and I think that's remarkable. I want to talk a little bit more about that, but your membership puts this together. You actually have to outreach, I suppose, to all these vendors and antique dealers to get them in, to get that
Yes.
organized. The
Correct.
logistics, I think, Krista and Susan, must be kind of staggering.
Well, we had a great response. Susan was in charge of the show last year and did a phenomenal job, breaking records left and right. So after the show is completed, we go around and talk with the dealers to secure their commitment for next year. So I think, Marcia, we had almost 32 committed at the end of the show last year on Sunday to come back this year.
So as soon as the one show's done, you're already working on the next one.
absolutely.
She is already working on next year's show.
I think that's
Sure.
really remarkable, and the attendance is terrific. Starting with the gala that's on Friday, and then what are the times on Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday is from 10 until 5, and Sunday is 11 till 4.
Right.
Yes.
So it's pretty much of a full day that people can come
Right.
and participate throughout the whole thing.
And one ticket will get them in the entire weekend.
Yes.
So if you attend part of the day Saturday and you want to
Correct.
come back, that ticket is still valid.
Right. We don't stamp your hand or anything. No, you keep a stub and you come back whatever day you want to come back, or if you want to come back later on that day.
And Marcia, may I add that the opening night gala ticket secures your
Attendance?
entrance
Throughout the
Okay.
rest of the
Yes.
course of the event.
Yes.
Well, that's
Right.
great. Now, you also, if I remember correctly, you do have like an auction as well, a silent auction. And when does that occur, and what are part of the auction?
The silent auction is Friday night, and we have items, I believe we have 58 items, ranging from $65 to $3,000.
Wow.
So there really is something for everyone.
I guess.
Yeah, there's plenty on the low end and some things on the high end.
Well, I think that's terrific.
Yeah, and we also have a basket of over 20 bottles of wine.
Wow.
Each one valued over $25. $25. One of them is actually $100.
Wow.
So we will possibly be auctioning that off. We're still trying to decide about that for sure.
Well, the remarkable thing, and I'd like to, I'll go around the table here on this, is this is such a community event, and METV has been very fortunate. We cover a lot of events in the community, but the Service Club event is always one that brings people together. You get a wide collection of people that want to participate. You have people who are interested in the vendors that are there, the artwork, but also there to help support the Service Club and the mission they do. Susan, tell us a little bit about why this is such an important event for the Service Club.
Well, this is our sole fundraiser. This is all we do. And as you have surmised from our discussion, we work on this year-round. So we start the minute one show ends, we start working on the next one. So our mission is always right at hand. We know exactly what we're doing, and we follow tradition, but we make adjustments each year as the community and the world changes, so that we can fulfill our mission, which is serving the underprivileged children. So we're very...
It's really remarkable.
Yeah, so we know what we're doing because we've done it for 51 years.
Very much so.
And we train below. So.
And I would like to add, we have over 100 sustainers who were active members. They were in for 8 years, and then they went out, and they are called sustainers, and they are our sustainers. They come up and help us also. They attend the show. They work at the show.
Act as volunteers.
They do
for
whatever
help.
we need. The sustainers fill in and help us out.
And I think that's a remarkable thing, and it's a real testament to the caliber of women that participate in the Service Club, that you can call on, past members, to help you, continue your success.
Oh, yes, yes. And it just has, for me, the 9 years that I have been in, has created some wonderful friendships with women I never would have met.
And I think there's a shared goal here too,
There
is that the people who want to participate not only want to have a wonderful event for the community, but that shared goal is being able to give back. And I think that's a remarkable thing, and hats off to all of you, for your continued efforts on the children in this community. Now, Krista, I want to take a few moments to talk to you a little bit about the scope of the show. Now, antiques, vintage, and collectible, that's a pretty wide scope of things. It's everything from antiques and pictures and things. Tell the audience what you think, people will enjoy seeing there.
Oh, I think they enjoy seeing everything. I mean, like Marcia had said, talking about the silent auction, there's something for everyone. I believe when we're having the show and the dealers are there, there's something for everyone. And I know quite a few of the women that come on Friday night to our opening night gala love to go to a few of the dealers that sell vintage jewelry. There is one dealer, Marcia and I just went up to St. Pete to meet some of the dealers and just remind them and hand out some information about our show. And one of the dealers that is coming to our show was there, and unfortunately, I went and came home with a couple of gold bracelets.
Couldn't wait till the show, could you?
No, I had to get them before they were gone. So she has a fabulous collection. So I would say if any women watching, you have to run right out and go.
And she will be there.
Yes.
And I think that's a remarkable thing too, the caliber and the quality of the people, of the vendors that are coming to see that there's going to be something for everyone and at every price range to do that. And I think that's really a unique thing, because what you've done and what you've created over the years is this really unique event, antiques and vintage and collectible, and it's really in a festive environment. And that's a really important thing. Let's go back to the gala for a minute, if we may, because that's really an important thing. You outreach to the entire community and try to include as many people. If I remember, correctly, they get a little preview of the vendors inside during that period of time.
Oh, yeah, the vendors are open. So, yes, that night they will go to the vendors and purchase the things that they always love to come and see, the jewelry, or we've had furs in the past.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I remember, and I'd like, Susan, if you can, you also invite, like nonprofits to be part of, so people can hand out information. Is that correct?
Oh, yes, yes. They are very much intertwined with our entire show and invited, of course, and of course they're the foundation of everything we do. So, of course, they sometimes are included, and they're invited, as well as the rest of the community and other supporters of our show.
And I think that's really important, because as you give back to these organizations that are helping children throughout Manatee County, it's really good to have them have an opportunity to show information to some of your guests that are arriving. And I believe in the past you've had like Community Haven and other organizations that do a lot of outreach in the community.
Haven will be
and it's
there
a
again.
wonderful opportunity for them to share their information with the public.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So Pier 22 is like one of the best catering organizations throughout Manatee County. It's going to be a wonderful catered event at the thing. What time does the event start?
The event starts at 5:30, and we will serve until 8:30, correct?
7:30.
7:30. So we will serve dinner from 5:30 to 7:30.
It's a buffet. It's just an open buffet, so anytime they can arrive during that time period, they will be able to go through the beautiful buffet.
And we have lovely tables all set up so they can sit down and eat their meal.
And very much so. So people can come, have a glass of wine, sit down and have this wonderful
There will be
catered
2
thing
bars.
from Pier 22. And then they can mingle with the vendors and get an opportunity to see some of the stuff as kind of a preview before the actual opens.
And then they get involved in the silent auction, and
that's
that is a
another
lot
part
of
of it.
fun, because a lot of them know each other.
Yeah, and the silent auction is going to be a lot of fun to do
Silent
it,
auction.
and a lot of great things that in the past have been there. But I wanted to spend a few moments, if I can, going back to the mission of what Service Club does. And as I mentioned in the very beginning, you're kind of like an unsung hero. You hear about organizations that are out there doing things like that. But when you give over $100,000 back to the community almost each and every year, I mean, that's a significant contribution to the health and welfare and the education of children. Why is that mission so important? Why is that kind of a sustaining mission for the Service Club? Susan, we'll start with you.
Well, that is solely what drives us to do what we do. That drives all of our energy, and we're all in agreement. That is our bedrock of our club, is our mission. And everything we do because of the mission statement. So.
And I think it's a wonderful type of thing. And I guess just during the course of the year, as people apply for a grant from the Service Club, and those grants are awarded, those organizations have got to be so extraordinarily pleased when you give them their check to continue. Krista, have you been involved in that?
Yes, I was actually on the grant committee previously, and I found that to be so rewarding, because when you're on the grant committee, you receive the applications, and then we personally have to go to these organizations to conduct an interview, because we want to make sure that the money that we're giving to them is going to a good place and will be used wisely. So there's a lot of rules and regulations that are involved, but the most rewarding part was to see the children and to see the organizations and how in need they are. And then we also get a chance to see where our money has been used. And it's just, I found that to be fascinating. And I believe everybody that comes into the club is required to be on the grant committee.
Yeah.
So that's
a great idea.
one of the first committees you have to be on, because it makes you realize. I said to Marcia when I got back afterwards, and I think I said it to you, Susan, as well, I said, now I know why I work so hard to volunteer. Because until you go there, you don't realize why you're working so hard. Because all you're really seeing are the women that you're working with until you go and visit.
And you see the direct results of the generosity of the Service Club.
Makes it all worth it.
And I would say to you, and I would think this community should know, is that you've been doing this now, and this is your 51st show, and this is a kind of a wonderful opportunity for those organizations who perhaps nonprofits operate on a very thin margin, who could use that extra money to continue to provide those much needed services to the children in their care.
We have also 2 years ago, the membership voted unanimously to set up an endowment fund. and we have just doing a great job with that. And
excellent.
That way we feel like if we let it grow and let it grow,
Sure.
it will remain there in perpetuity to help children in this community.
And I think that's a wonderful thing to do because, as hopefully you'll be able to continue the antique vintage and collectible show way into the future. But, building an endowment would help you, secure that for years to come.
Right.
And I would say again to all of you, the Service Club is one of those unsung heroes. It's really giving back to a community and at the same time providing these much needed assets and resources to organizations that perhaps would go without if it wasn't for your generosity. But you do it in a fun way. You have a really wonderful thing, and as Susan mentioned, this is your only fundraiser. Lots of organizations, they have like a golf tournament and they'll have this and everything. But this is the sole fundraiser for the Service Club throughout the whole year.
Right.
And I think that's a remarkable thing. That's why you have such a wonderful turnout year after year for it.
Right.
So let's go back to the event, and we'll start with the gala to begin with.
Okay.
The gala is on Friday.
Friday from 5:30 to 9.
What's the date on that?
February 26th.
We're putting it up on the screen as we speak. So
February 26th, starting at 5:30 to 9, and then Pier 22 will be serving from 5:30 to 7:30.
And I think that's great. Come there.
And tickets for that event are $50 and $60 at the door.
And as you mentioned before, that ticket, if you go to the gala, will allow you to go throughout the course of the whole show through Sunday.
Right.
And I think that's a great opportunity. Come enjoy the first. Have a nice, wonderful opportunity. Enjoy the, the fun of a gala, and then come back Saturday and Sunday for more of the show.
Yeah.
But I did want to mention, and I think, because I remember this because we did a public service announcement with you and Krista, is that on a couple of the days at the event, you have some special things that are happening.
Right.
You have, and what are they? Can you remember what they were? You have, Krista, what are they?
Well, we have a chalk painting demonstration.
Oh, that's got to be fun.
It's really interesting. It's quite a fad right now. A lot of
very
people
much
love to use chalk paint and paint furniture. So that's, I believe that's Sunday from 11 to 1, and that's only Sunday only. And then we have the Kennedy brothers, and you can talk more about that.
The Kennedy brothers will be doing appraisals. So you can come in and bring your item and have it appraised by the Kennedy brothers. And that is all day Saturday.
That's sort of like a little antique roadshow thing. You can bring in that clock or that dish or that might have been in your family, and they'll sit down, look at it, and give you, their professional appraisal.
And
That's
then
a
all
great
weekend
thing.
we will have a gentleman that does crystal repair.
And
so
tell it, crystal repair is like for watches and clock.
Crystal is for crystal.
Oh,
It's
you're
for
talking actually like chandelier
glass.
stuff.
Yes, crystal.
Wow.
Anything that you have that is chipped or clouded over, we have a crystal repair man that will be there the entire weekend. He'll be there Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday.
So if you have something in your household and it's really been in a drawer, you can bring it in throughout the whole weekend of the event, and it'll be repaired, and you negotiate with the person for the cost of whatever that might be.
Yeah, and most of it is repaired right there.
No kidding.
Yeah, a lot of it is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
It's
very nice. He does a wonderful job.
I think that's a great little thing. So people have an opportunity, aside from looking around, they can actually get some, some repairs done, get an appraisal done, and also see a wonderful chalk demonstration. So that's kind of you're bringing in a lot of different elements to the program.
Absolutely.
So the event is Friday. It sounds like a wonderful thing. Pier 22, wonderful caterer type of thing.
Correct.
And then doors open on Saturday.
At 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock till 4.
5.
And then Sunday.
is 11 to 4.
And what are ticket prices if you just want to come on a Saturday or Sunday?
$7.
That's
And if you come
terrific.
on Saturday, you pay the $7, and that ticket will still be good to come back on Sunday.
Boy, you're just encouraging people to come and stay the whole
But we
thing.
really want you to come to the gala.
And I think that's really important.
Right.
And I would stress that, and I would encourage people to help participate in the Service Club, because this gala is the only fundraiser that the Service Club of Manatee has all year. And as you've heard these ladies talk about, all of the funding goes directly back to this community to help children with educational resources and needs that they may have. So I would encourage everybody to participate in going to the gala. The ticket entitles you for the whole weekend of events, and it's a fun thing. It's upbeat, it's pleasurable. You'll see your neighbors and your friends there. It's a wonderful opportunity. And the ladies, we're winding down a little bit here. I'm so glad that you were able to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about what Service Club not only does and its mission and its consistent mission, but also about this wonderful event that you have. So Susan, we're going to start with you. If you wanted to tell people throughout the county about the importance not only of the Service Club, but of this event, what would you say?
Well, it's a key event in our town. It's very unique. We have the only antique show in town, I do believe, that it's our only fundraiser, and every penny goes back to the children's charities in Manatee County. So it's a win-win for everybody.
And you've been involved with Service Club now for many years. It's got to make you so proud to see, the consistent generosity that Service Club does as it gives back.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And Krista, what about you? You're like the new girl on the block.
I am. I'm the rookie.
The rookie. But and since you've been involved, what has Service Club meant to you, and why do you think it's such an important asset to our community?
Oh goodness, I think it's so important because we give back to the community in such a loving and beneficial manner. I mean, we all get along so well, and I also have to say that this would not be happening if it weren't for our corporate sponsors too. We have so many wonderful sponsors.
You want to name a few of them?
In the community that, well, Susan's our chair of our corporate sponsorship committee.
What about Susan? You want to give, and I always think that you should give a hats off to some
they
of your
help.
major
I mean, it wouldn't
sponsors.
be
Right. Well, there are just too many to list right now,
Right.
of course, but certainly the Bradenton Herald, Pier 22 is sponsoring us, Melita, just to name a few, several Mosley Investment Management. Let's see, girls, what else?
And I know it's hard to recall all of them and things,
right.
but I would say to all of those
Bright
sponsors
House.
that it's really wonderful to have organizations that want to sponsor this
Year after
simply
year.
because it shows kind of that community involvement and that
Yes.
kind of give back. And it's great to have that kind of ongoing community and corporate support as you move into your 52nd year next year.
Right.
Yeah.
And the sponsors are on our website.
Oh, great.
If anyone is
Yes.
interested.
And what is that again, Marcia?
ManateeServiceClub.com.
And they can find ticket information there and a phone number and
Yes.
everything. And we're also going to have that up on the screen.
And we have all our corporate sponsors up on our
And you
website.
can get corporate sponsors up there as well. And I believe that the corporate sponsors are very important because that allows you, to have a bigger event and to raise more money for your mission.
Right.
So Marcia, you're going to give a final word to you on this. This is a wonderful event.
It is a
and
wonderful
we've participated. We've been very fortunate to participate in it, for several years and helping you get the word out about it. But I would suggest to you that the Service Club is again one of those organizations that is like a quiet storm.
Right.
You do so much. When you give out over $100,000 each and every year to organizations that readily need that money so they can continue their service to kids, all of you within the Service Club are to be congratulated, and all of your members are to be congratulated for that, as well as your corporate sponsors for giving you that opportunity to do something.
Right.
Big event. Why should people come?
Oh, why should you come? I have been in Service Club for 9 years. And in 9 years, the needs of this community have skyrocketed from when I came in and things were good. And then the downturn caused so many problems for families and children. And so please come and support us by coming to our event so that we can give away a lot of money to these needy children who deserve it so much.
Marcia, that was very eloquent. And I want to thank you and Krista and Susan for taking the time out of your schedules to come and talk about what I consider a kind of a real signature event for Manatee County. I mean, it really is. And first of all, you got to be so proud of an organization that's been around for 89 years.
Right.
and 51 years of doing your vintage, antiques, vintage, and collectible show. I mean, it's something that each one of you should be so very, very proud of. And we're very proud to have an organization like Service Club Manatee in our community.
Thank you so much.
And I would encourage everybody to come and participate at the gala. The tickets are only $50, and that ticket would entitle you throughout the whole weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, to attend. It's a wonderful catered meal by Pier 22. Great
silent auction.
And the silent auction,
Yes.
which is a lot of fun as well for it.
And Service Club has their own booth also.
See, there's another, that's another benefit, just to go to the Service Club booth.
Has an antique booth, which is everything we do. We don't buy anything. It is all donated by sustainers and active members year after year.
So you've got your own separate little booth set up over there with all the vendors from all over the country.
That's right.
Well, how great is that then?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, another great reason to visit.
Another one. And if you can't come Friday night, we would love to have you Saturday or Sunday also.
And I think, attendance has always been, very, very good at these things. It's a well-attended thing. You get you get families, you get young people, you get seniors coming. It's a really wonderful opportunity to see what I would consider one of the great signature events here in Manatee County.
Thank you.
We're going to have the information up on the screen for people to find out information, not only about the event, but also about Service Club and how they can contact you. Susan, Krista, Marcia, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
Continued success with the Service Club and your mission.
Thank you.
And I would encourage everybody to go and participate in the Service Club. It's a wonderful activity. You'll certainly enjoy yourself, and it's a wonderful, great thing to support the children of Manatee County. Thank you, and we'll see you again next time on Up Close on METV.